intellectual level and a long-standing desire of mine has been to be free of the opinion of others, kind of live more based on my own, how I feel, but yet if I really look at my life, most of the times when I feel good about myself or feel good generally, it's based on the approval of others. It's whether or not I've succeeded in this test or I've gotten the good feedback from people that tell me I've done a good job on something.
Good. Now, before you go further, you've given us something very powerfully to give to you. You said, I'm getting good feedback.
Yeah.
And what we want you to begin reaching for is the feedback of your inner being. You're wanting the feedback of source rather than the feedback of someone who is physically focused. Now, sometimes the feedback of someone who is physically focused is the feedback of source. In other words, when you have pleased someone and they are holding you as their object of attention in their glorious feeling of appreciation, they're connected to source energy and they're flooding it all over you. And so you say, ooh, this feels really good. I like this feeling. But what you're wanting to do is recognize that you can connect to that source without using them as the avenue through which it comes. And that is the answer to your question.
What's the process of getting more in tune to that?
When a physical friend gives you feedback, that feedback of approval, how does it come from a friend?
Usually it's after I've done some physical action, they've witnessed it, and they've been like, well, that was really good.
So they give it to you in words?
Yeah.
How might feedback come from source, from inner being, from God, from whatever you want to call the non-physical resources? How's that feedback going to come?
I would assume in form of a feeling.
If you are sitting before Esther, as she is allowing her connection to all of that, it can come in words.
Right.
Well done. You see. But if you do not have a translator, then you've got to be it. Sometimes you'll hear your name. Sometimes a bird will land and gaze at you just at the right moment. Sometimes someone that you don't even know will lock eyes with you. In other words, the feedback is coming, but it's coming in different ways than you are accustomed to hearing. And you have to acclimate yourself to that feedback. And that's what your emotions are about. Eagerness is that feedback. Eagerness is your inner being saying, yeah, let's go, more. Passion, eagerness, appreciation, that's that same feedback, the way you feel, you see.
So I guess one of the things I get hung up on is I do appreciate when people give me positive feedback, but then when I get negative feedback, it can also bring me into a real negative state. So how do you kind of let the positive feedback come in but kind of ignore the negative feedback?
Well, you see, that's the problem with depending upon somebody else's feedback, is that when they approve of you, you feel very good, but when they disapprove of you, you feel very bad. And when it's in your face, it's hard to ignore. And that's why we think you have wisely come to the determination that you did when you first sat down here. I want it not to matter what other people are thinking. And we say, but what about when they're loving you? And you say, well, I want that part to matter. I just don't want the other part to matter. And we say, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, it matters to me what you think when you adore me, but it doesn't matter what you think about me when you abhor something that I've done. You have to reach for your inner resources. It has to matter to you more how you feel than it does what anybody else thinks.
So how do I differentiate between the voices inside me that are the negative ones that are criticizing myself and then the positive ones that are encouraging myself?
If you are reaching for the inner resources, they are never criticizing you. So if you've connected with Source, you're always getting applause. You're always getting approval. You're always getting appreciation. And if it's anything else you're getting, it's your mother.